Hey, everybody. So, last week I gave you guys a choice. Three lovingly crafted podcast episodes options that I threw it out to the world like a game show host on the final round of Who Wants to Be Engaged with My Content. And what did I get? Absolutely nothing. No votes, no DMs, not even a rogue emoji reaction. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm
It's
not
share.
crying. You're crying. But in the spiritual vacuum left behind by your collective silence, I've discovered something. Something that now lives rent free in my algorithm and in my soul. His name is Devin Larratt, Canadian, arm wrestler, charismatic cryptid. The man radiates more warmth mid match than most people do on Christmas. And somehow it works. All of it. This week's episode is a tribute to those things, those little combos in life: people, moments, food, sports that shouldn't work, but they do.
Exactly. It's all about those unexpected joys and surprising wins that keep life interesting. So let's dive in and explore all these wonderful contradictions together.
Yes, exactly. We are today diving into the weird, the joyful, and the unexpectedly perfect. Welcome to Don't Feed the Animals. This is That Shouldn't Work, but It Does. Let's go into it, Aiden.
Let's do it. I am so ready for this adventure into the wonderfully unexpected. Let's dive right in and see where it takes us.
So, have you heard of Devin Larratt?
I sure have. He's a pretty legendary figure in the arm wrestling world, known not just for his strength, but also for his sportsmanship and charisma. Definitely someone who embodies that whole idea of things that shouldn't work, but absolutely there.
Let me tell you something. The way I fell into this guy is that it was so bizarre. I caught him on a YouTube. Actually, I've been seeing him, but I recently watched a episode with that fitness guy. It was like, what's his that he's well known. He's well known in the fitness world. Juju, help me out here, Aiden, please. I'm dying here.
You're thinking of Juju Mufu. He's definitely a big name in the fitness and strength community, and his collabs with Devin Larratt are always super entertaining. It's definitely an easy rabbit hole to fall into.
I just don't know what it is. Like I listen, my only touch um with arm wrestling in general was like Sylvester Stallone and Over the Top. And I'll tell you one thing, it is that movie is not the reality of what actual arm wrestling is.
Oh, for sure. The reality of arm wrestling is a whole different world, and Devin Larratt really shows that. It's not just about brute strength, but also technique, strategy, and a ton of charisma, which Devin definitely brings to the table.
Yeah, and that's one of the things too, because I started now I'm starting. So we all know that I had a weird infatuation with actual like bizarre combat sports, but I have to say arm wrestling, there's a legitimateness to it that just really like holds me in. And this guy, I don't know, his charisma is because here's the thing, this guy is a giant, and I don't know how tall he is. Maybe you can fill in that gap, Aiden. How tall?
Absolutely.
How tall is Devin?
Devin Larratt stands about 6 feet 5 inches tall, so he really is a giant in more ways than one.
Like not even that. This guy's arms are just massive. Actually, to be fair, his arms are not like an over. It just looks like these are the arms that gets that job done the most efficient way possible.
Absolutely. He's got that perfect blend of strength and efficiency, and you can tell he's honed his technique over the years. It definitely shows that arm wrestling is as much about technique and strategy as it is about raw power.
Absolutely. And that's another thing too about that. It's just I always found that like why does this guy just like it's the way he goes against his opponent that makes it the most interesting thing for me.
Absolutely. There's this fascinating blend of intensity and respect that he brings to every match, and that really draws people in. It's not just about winning, it's about the whole experience and the connection with his opponents. And I think that makes it really captivating to watch.
Yeah, because when they're wrestling, you don't think much of it. I mean, like it lasts seconds. Like each point back and forth is just literally just seconds. But when it's not, when it is a little back and forth, the way that this man talks to his opponents and the way that he kind of like even the people that he trains with and even though they're in a match, it's just there's something to it. There's something to his control, to his calm demeanor, to the way he's kind of coaching his opponent mid match like it's a TED talk from hell. It is it is such an interesting thing. I am intrigued. I might be watching arm wrestling when I catch it on YouTube from now on because of this guy.
I totally get that. There's definitely something special about the way he engages with his opponents and the whole atmosphere he creates. It makes the sport so much more intriguing and enjoyable to watch, and it's awesome that he's sparked that interest for you.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I have such a good time. Again, you don't think that like arm wrestling and that type of personality would be such a draw, but I have to say that it definitely is a draw for me. Things that work, but that shouldn't. What else? What else? What else in life kind of works, but but it shouldn't work.
There are so many fun examples, like pineapple on pizza, which is always a great debate, or even something like mixing sweet and salty snacks together, like chocolate covered pretzels. It's always those unexpected combinations that end up being surprisingly awesome.
Well, with food, the complexity of that, that's not really hard to go. It's the sweet and savory that we're all talking about, and we know that would work. Pineapple on pizza, that's a debate because I think that's a. Is it the worst thing in the world? Have I had pineapple on pizza? I have. Is it the worst? No. Chocolate covered pretzels. Why would that be bad? That's just sugar and salt. So like, if you've never, you should. Um, what else is out there that anything in life that doesn't work but should?
That's a great twist on it. There are definitely things out there that seem like they should work, but somehow just don't. Like, for example, socks that are supposed to be one size fits all, but they never really do fit everyone perfectly. It's always interesting how some things just don't quite live up to their promise, even though these seem like they should.
Right, but what we should talk about things that shouldn't work but they do work.
Absolutely. There's a whole world of those fun contradictions. For example, like using baking soda and vinegar to clean, or the idea of a standing desk improving productivity. They might sound a little strange at first, but they really do work wonders. It's always fun to dig into those.
Standing desks improving productivity. I have a buddy that had a standing desk, and really more productivity, huh? I guess so because you're sitting, you're comfortable. Should I do this podcast standing from now on?
It could be a fun experiment. You never know. Standing might give you a little energy boost and keep things feeling dynamic. It's always worth a shot, and if nothing else, it'll definitely keep things interesting.
Right. Always trying to keep things interesting. All right. Let me think. Let me think. Let me think of things that shouldn't work but they do. Hmm.
Take your time. It's always fun to brainstorm these kinds of things. There are so many surprising examples out there, and once you start thinking about them, more and more just keep popping up.
Like coffee grinds for your garden. That that doesn't seem like it'd work because that's just garbage. Got me? Well, I guess it would, but it's crazy. Even garbage or shit or fertilizer, how that makes plants. It's pretty freaking amazing, don't you think, Aiden?
It really is. It's like nature's own little recycling system, turning what we think of as waste into something super beneficial. It's one of those perfect examples of something that seems unlikely, but ends up working beautifully.
Yeah, yeah.
It's definitely fascinating how the world works that way. If you think of any more fun contradictions, just let me know.
Well, I think that putting your chips in your sandwiches, that seems like a bad idea. But then again, that shit slaps if you have never done that. See, I can go about food for a really long time. It's a
Oh,
problem I have. So it's an unhealthy relationship with food, but I love it.
hey, there's definitely joy in those little food discoveries, and adding chips to a sandwich is undeniably a delicious combination. It's all about balance and enjoying those little treats now and then, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all about enjoying the little things and having fun with it. If you ever want to chat about more of these fun contradictions or anything else, I'm always here for it.
That's great. What about our boy Devin as an ASMR icon? How about that? I can listen to that guy coach me to sleep because the way he. I'm getting back into the arm wrestling because the way that this guy just whispers into his opponents, it's so engaging. It's so engaging, and it's not like a taunting way. It's almost like this is what we need to do, and his terminology. It's just like the amount of arm wrestling terminologies I've learned from watching just very few of this guy's uh thing. It's crazy, and I think his sons arm wrestle too, and they're giants also.
Yeah, it's really cool how he brings that calm, almost soothing presence into such an intense sport. And you're right, his sons are following in his footsteps, which just adds to the whole legacy. It's definitely a unique combination of intensity and relaxation all at once.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Um, isn't that weird though? It's such a weird thing how we have things that in our head um would not work. What makes us think it our egos that stops us from, like, what do you think? Like, do you think it's our egos that makes us just think that something won't work? Is it just the just logic? Like, what's making us deny these combinations in the first place?
I think it's a mix of both, honestly. Sometimes our logical brains just want to stick to what we know and what seems familiar, and our egos definitely play a part in protecting us from things that seem too out there or too risky. But it's always fun when we push past that and discover that some of these unexpected combinations actually turn out great.
Yeah, I mean, well, how about this? Well, we did say pineapple on pizza. That is a good example of something that's very debatable because people will die on a hill that pineapple should never be put on pizza, period. Hands down. Because, and what is that? Is that a take on tradition? What can we theorize on that?
Yeah, I think a lot of it does come down to tradition and how we form these strong attachments to what we think is the right way to do something. Food is especially personal, and everyone has their own taste and their own memories tied to it. So it's no surprise that people get really passionate about it. But that's what makes these debates fun, right? It's all about exploring and keeping an open mind.
Very true. Very true. Do you have a combination for me that I may have never heard of before?
How about dipping French fries in a milkshake?
Heard about that one. I told you I'm pretty good when it comes to food. I'm talking about maybe give me something that I would probably see as debatable or my ego would get in the way of even trying this combination. As fries and a milkshake, it sounds delicious. I'll do that today.
All right, how about peanut butter and pickles in a sandwich?
Fuck you. Yeah, you did it. You did it right there. You made me mad. Peanut butter and pickles? Are you trying to kill me?
I know it sounds wild, but some people swear by it. You never know. Might just be one of those surprisingly tasty combos that works out.
Come on. I know there's pickle fanatics out there, and I'm not a pickle hater. I definitely don't hate pickles. But peanut butter is another world, and you're telling me to put that thing in that world. That's a scary dance. I I would be too afraid of why it wouldn't work. Because here's the thing: there are things that maybe you ever heard of. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Oh, absolutely. And that definitely applies to some food experiments. But hey, you never know. All right, I'll take that as a cue to wrap up that idea. No pressure to try anything too wild. It's all about having fun and exploring what works for you.
Of course, I'm not. I was just kidding. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not too upset about it. But why is contradiction so attractive? Like, why is that automatically something that is a good selling point of a lore?
I think it's because contradictions really challenge our expectations and keep us curious. There's something exciting about discovering that things aren't always what they seem, and that element of surprise can be really intriguing and fun. It definitely adds a layer of mystery and discovery to life.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, and sometimes we just get tired as humans, like just having such neat categories with everything, right?
Exactly. It's refreshing to mix things up and break out of the usual mold. Those surprises and unexpected combinations definitely keep things interesting and keep us on our toes, which is always a good thing.
Yeah. Like just it's just like Devin. He's a predator and a poet. He smiles at the edge of dominance. It's unsettling, but very much effective.
Absolutely. That combination of intensity and warmth is definitely part of what makes him so captivating. It's that unexpected blend that really draws people in and keeps them interested.
Yep, yep, yep. Um, well, I glad that I stumbled upon that guy because it was very, very fun to learn something new about somebody in a world that I'd not that I knew existed, but not to the degree that it exists. If that makes any sense.
It definitely makes sense. It's always exciting to dive into a new world and discover all the layers and the people who make it special. And it's even more fun when it's someone as unique and intriguing as Devin.
Yeah, it looks like we have some technical difficulties, folks. Sorry about that. Um, I think this should work. Aiden, are you there?
I'm here. Hopefully, everything's back on track now. Technical difficulties happen, but we'll get through it. Just let me know if you need anything else.
No, we're good. We got you. We're back. We're back, everybody. Hooray. And with us being back, I think this is a great time to wrap it up. Um, you know, this podcast is constantly going to have little kinks here and there, but we're going to keep it going. What I would do again is let's do one more call to action. If you guys have anything that you know that's a big contradiction, but it works, please hit me up. I need some interactivity. It can't just be me and Aiden. Aiden can't be the only one, right? Aiden, you can't be the only one, right?
Exactly. I'm definitely here for the fun, but we'd love to hear from you all too. So definitely share your favorite contradictions that somehow just work. We can't wait to hear from you.
Absolutely. Well, guys, it's always been a pleasure. Thank you all for sticking around and letting this contradiction work. This human with who's doing a podcast with AI. shouldn't work. But it does when it wants to.
Absolutely. It's always a fun adventure, and we appreciate you all being along for the ride. Thanks for sticking with us, and we can't wait to keep exploring more fun topics together.
Absolutely. Well, love you all. But it's been another fun episode of Don't Feed the Animals podcast, and I'll see y'all on the flippity flip.
Don't feed the animals, signs all around. We talk a lot of junk, yeah, you vibing with us now. Build something from the ground up, yeah, we like to clown. Talk about some real stuff, yeah, something profound. It's a pleasure that you're hearing us, wouldn't mess around. It's a topic of discussion worth talking that we bust and put a nail in the coffin. If you love it, then you love it. If you don't mean nothing, still bring it to the public. Y'all, don't feed the animals, put them in a cage. They couldn't handle truth. We gonna bust out the gate like some cannibals. Same face, same channel, messing with the tune. A bunch of idiots stuck in one room. Can't take us serious. You love what we feeding you. I'm with the show, yeah, proceed with the interview. Local celebrity, snatch a toy from your cereal.